I think I messed up. I built the shop of my dreams. Haven't filled it with tools yet, but I built the size that I've always wanted, a 30 by 40 shop. Don't get me wrong, I love the space, but I think I made a mistake. And I'm kind of wondering if I built it too big. Let me explain. And once you understand what I'm talking about and why I say that, I want your input. So stay tuned to the end because I do have some questions for those of you that do actually support the channel by subscribing and watching. So I could not be happier with the entirety of this space. And I'm getting to organize things the way I want it. I got an idea of the tools that I want, and it hit me like a truck that I think I messed up. Most of my subscribers have a smaller workspace. And I know a lot of YouTubers get caught up in building these big, massive workspaces or buying these warehouses and flipping them. And I just think that that makes them become unrelatable to the actual viewer, to you, the viewer. And so I have worked for years and years out of small spaces, and I think that's what really made me relatable to a lot of you. And that's not the only reason, but that's the main reason why I think I made a mistake. Number two, you hear the echo, you see all the empty space. I don't have the tools and I don't have the business, especially the business that I thought I would have at this time. The restaurant that was supposed to do all this work for, I haven't heard from them. And I'm going to reach out and get some clarification from them, but that would be the biggest job I would have probably for the entirety of my business. I took advantage of that and I did build a bigger shop. Like I said, the shop of my dreams, but that job seemed like it fell through, which isn't that big of a deal because I was not relying on that money to build this shop. It just was a little push that I needed to actually build it, but I still would have liked the work. So here's the deal. I think I made the shop too big. I think it makes me unrelatable to you. I want to know below if you think that's true. I also want to know below what you would do. So we have a couple options, and I want to let you in on something that I've been working on the side that I wasn't really going to bring to this channel, but I think you should know. And I also want to know what you would do with the space if you was in the same predicament. So a lot of you may not know that I actually am a pastor at my church and I lead worship at my church. What all of you probably don't know is I actually write original worship songs, and I'm looking to produce them and get them out and have an album published for the public. Let's be honest, we need more of this voice. Here's a little teaser. Who is that I see staring straight back at me? All joking aside, I write some fire worship songs. They're great lyrics. They're not this touchy-feely Christianity music that we have today. It's actual worshiping God songs. This may alienate a few of you that may or may not be Christians, but it's who I am. It's what I bring to the table. I'm a high value individual. I have a lot going on. I'm very talented. That's not arrogant. That's just what it is. So here's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to cut this shop in half. So I'm thinking about only using from the corner of this straight across and back will be actual woodworking shop space. And I want to build a recording studio. I was originally going to do this in my home office, but it's just not big enough. Now, this isn't a project I'm going to start immediately, but I might go ahead and put the wall up to separate the space because I can't really advance with shop furniture or organizing the shop how I really want it when I know I'm going to be cutting the thing in half in about a year. And then I'm going to be stuck trying to redo all the stuff that I've just accomplished. I would be having to get rid of cabinets, the other tools that I'm wanting to get. Maybe I wouldn't have the space for it. And that's what really got me thinking, I'm not relatable to a lot of people because I could get a big 4-foot by 8-foot CNC machine and put it in here if I could afford it. I can't afford that right now. And I'm not taking on a sponsor for that. But I had the space to do it. Never had the space. A lot of you probably don't have the space. That makes me unrelatable to most of my subscribers. The main purpose of building this shop space was for YouTube. Because the fact is, I am making a good amount of money on YouTube. I'm not making enough to quit my job by any means, not even close, but I am making a decent amount of money just from the ad revenue on YouTube. Funny story about YouTube that you may or may not know. YouTube actually started out as a dating app. And whenever they realized that it wasn't working as a dating app, they took a step back and they analyzed what was actually going on. People were using the app to just post videos of themselves. And so that's when they saw the change, they adapted to the change, and they made that change work into what we see today. So I've made a lot of changes on this channel. I adapt to this different situations that are fluidly going on. So I am planning on producing my own music. I'm working on getting it up and running. I have about 4 or 5 songs that are actually really, really good. I'm working on getting another 4 or 5 together to actually put out an album, but I am looking to start putting music out there. I need a space to do it in, and that's what I'm thinking about doing with the other half of the shop. I would not be filling the shop space with all these tools that you see in these other bigger YouTube channels. Congrats to them on their success. I just think it makes them unrelatable to most of us, smaller people. Don't confuse me with a big YouTuber or somebody with a ton of money that can just buy the tools I want. I can't, and I ain't. And I don't plan on becoming I know I'm going to have a pretty massive channel. I have a 10-year goal for this channel. I know it's going to be a big channel. I don't plan on becoming one of these big channels that just blow up and they take on all these big tool sponsors, take on all these other sponsors for the channel, and fill their shop up with a ton of stuff that nobody can really afford. I honestly thought the X-Tool P2 was going to be a line in the sand, but a lot of people have actually bought the X-Tool P2, so I kind of have an idea of what your budget is. Some of you, not all of you, obviously. There's no one size fits all. But I do understand I can't fill this shop up with $100,000 worth of tools and still expect you to take me seriously when I say you could build this as a beginner, right? I still want nice tools. I'm still going to buy nice tools, but there's going to be a limit. That's all I'm going to say. And I think part of starting that limit is cutting this shop in half. Let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. If it was your shop and if you were in the same predicament, what would you do? Would you buy a whole nother space for a recording studio and maximize this shop for what it could be? There's a lot of potential for this type of space. I don't plan on becoming a massive furniture manufacturer. I might, who knows, but I think I would have to buy a bigger warehouse like some of these other people. But that's not in the foreseeable future. So I want to know what you think. Should I cut the shop in half? What size do you think would be the ideal or typical shop space that you would like to see? I am not going as small as I have been on the channel. If you want to see super small shops, just go look at the earlier content throughout my channel. I'm thinking double car garage, maybe a little bigger, maybe 20 by 30. That's 600 square foot. I think that's a pretty doable space for most people, or at least relatable. Wait, I want to stop yammering. There's a lot of big things coming. Like I said, music coming. There will be a whole nother channel for that, and you will be actually the first to know. As soon as I get the YouTube channel for the new music, probably gonna start on TikTok and Instagram. I wanna make an announcement on the channel saying, hey, go check out the music. Let me know what you think, because you guys have supported me every step of this journey. I would love to leverage that support and get that support from you for the other journey that I'm about to be starting on. And it's gonna be running in parallel with this one. This isn't going anywhere. Burnstock is here to stay. Had a lot of time to think about it while I was on that trip last week. We're gonna keep going with the woodworking for sure. Now, in referencing back to the whole change YouTube made, they're able to look and see what's working and what's not, and they made changes accordingly. The newsletter isn't quite working, so I am considering getting rid of that aspect of my website, but I have other plans in mind for it. This doesn't change the free plans that I've been putting out or that's coming. I still have to do a hatchet board. That's going to be coming, but I don't really put out a lot of information, especially as much as I thought I would, because I don't really have the time to keep up with the newsletter. So I am considering stopping the newsletter. There's no action on your part. I will let you know, comment if you think I should keep it going. It's no big deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal because like I said, I don't send out weekly emails. Anyway, that's enough yammering. This was a good middle of the week video. Comment below, answer my questions. Let me know what you think. If you think it's dumb, you should keep the big shop, say that. If you think it's a great idea, cut it in half, stay relatable to your subscriber base. I think that's the route that I want to go. I'm not going to go that route right now. It will be a couple of months before I actually save the money back up to build a wall in the middle of the shop, but I think that's a really good option. So I've got to start working on the video that's actually going to come out Friday. I think you're going to like it. It might be Saturday, because I'm waiting on something to come in from the mail. I need some materials. Remember I said in the last video, you need to plan ahead and get the materials? This is part of why. Now I have a little bit of what might be a delay because I didn't plan ahead and order materials. So stay tuned for the video coming out Friday or Saturday about 11:30, 12 o'clock my time, Central Standard. Thank you for the support. As always, I will catch you on the next one.